God is coming to town. Antifa will be treated as the Egyptians chasing Israel through the Red Sea. Yet with extraordinary mercy on some. A word to the USA, God will suddenly come and interrupt the plans of destruction. Prophet Russ Walden, Elijah List. The Father says today, I am bringing you to rest on the threshing floor of my purposes. I am sitting on the earth as a refiner's fire and full as soap to cleanse the hearts of men and gather together my people, in the strength of their faith and the strength of their resolve, to see my hand of deliverance descend and quell the violence of the sword and appease the anger of many nations and peoples. What man cannot do and what man cannot accomplish, my hand is at work to bring about, as my wind begins to blow across the threshing floors of this nation to bring change, and to pour out my spirit upon those looking and waiting for that thing that I am bringing about. Then they that fear my name, who often speak one to another, I will remember when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spares his only son that serves him. They will turn about amid the chaos and discern between the righteous and the wicked. I will suddenly come. This nation, the United States, is being winnowed by my hand, says God, that the wheat might be gathered into my garner and the chaff burned with unquenchable fire. I am moving in the cities and the urban centers, and I am remembering, in compassion and mercy, those in the cauldrons of unrest in Minneapolis and Chicago and New York and across this land. I will suddenly come. Even as the messenger of the covenant, I will come near in judgment and be a swift witness against the sorcerers, the adulterers, the false swearers, against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow, the fatherless, and those that turn aside the stranger from his right and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. The Father says, I will interrupt the plans of those who are organizing violence and destruction in your cities. Just as the wheels of Pharaoh's chariots fell off when they pursued the Israelites, so elevators will stop and cars will break down, across this country, as the key leaders of the Antifa movement go out to bring mayhem on the streets. From the broken elevators they will call on the very first responders they intended to harm and injure to come and rescue them. They will sit in darkness waiting, and my angel will step into the elevator and say, Why are you persecuting me? Just as with Saul on the road to Damascus, I will confront the persecutors and the agents of chaos, and from their ranks I will raise up mighty men and women of God who will repent of their destructions and will go forth proclaiming the gospel of a risen Christ to a stunned and onlooking world. Fear not. To my people, I say, fear not, for when the smoke clears it will be the proud and the wicked that will be as stubble. You will be left standing with your life and your testimony intact, that there is a high tower that men can run to in times of trouble and be safe, even as I am keeping you safe during this time of upheaval and chaos. I will arise as the Son of Righteousness with healing in my wings, bringing healing for the people and healing for the nation. And you will have beauty for ashes and go out as calves of the stall, provisioned and protected by my strong arm. You will not be overrun or overtaken by the pestilence that goes by day or by the scourge that rages in the night, but you shall tread down the wicked, and they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I do this, says the Father. Know this, that it is not a time to strive but a time to rest and trust in my all-embracing purposes. It is a time to stay focused and not to let anything take your eyes off of the harvest. The sickle is now being thrust in and the wheat is being separated from the chaff. The impotence of man is being made clear, and the moment where my glory comes forth in the midst of darkness is now. This is the day that I am your peace, and this is the day that I am your shelter. You are coming out of this furnace by my hand, without even the smell of smoke on your garments. Please don't miss our emerging and newly found prophets on ElijahList.com. Subscribe here. Russ Walden Father's Heart Ministry. Email, russellwalden@gmail.com. Website, www.fathersheartministry.net.